Welcome to As the Credits Roll, a deep dive into PSVR2 games. Today's game is the PSVR2 flagship title at launch, Horizon: Call of the Mountain. But to get to this end, we have to travel all the way back to the beginning, back to February 22nd, 2023, the launch day of the PSVR2. The long-awaited headset was finally here, promising better resolution, advanced haptics, and eye-tracking capabilities. It was time to hang up those Move controllers and pack away the spaghetti junction of wires that was the original PSVR. A new kid was on the block, more stylish, sleek, and slightly less comfortable than its predecessor. It launched with a game based on one of Sony's most popular IPs. Developed by Firesprite and Guerrilla Games, this PSVR2 exclusive promised to take us on an immersive journey through the lush, mechanical wilderness of the Horizon universe. Nothing could go wrong. Or could it? A climactic adventure. Welcome to Horizon: Call of the Mountain. If you're like me and heights turn your legs to jelly, prepare for an exhilarating and occasionally terrifying experience. The game starts with you taking on the role of Reyes, a disgraced Carja warrior seeking redemption. From the get-go, you're introduced to the game's breathtaking visuals. You find yourself in a boat, gliding through a serene river, giving you a taste of the beauty and danger ahead. I couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness as the tall neck stepped over my boat. My VR-scale cherry was popped long ago with Robinson: The Journey, and although this was an impressive sight, it failed to wow me in a way that I knew it once would have. I was actually jealous of the new players experiencing this for the first time. Let's talk about the visuals. The game is a visual feast. The environments are richly detailed, from lush jungles to snowy peaks. You can almost feel the grass brushing against your fingers as you climb. And the sound design is impeccable. Hearing metal creak as you clamber over a dead machine is enough to make anyone nervous. The immersion is top-notch, making you feel like you're really part of the Horizon universe. That is, until you try to turn, or wave your hand quickly in front of your face. Here is the first downside of the game. It runs at 120Hz rear projected. This is not an issue for some people, while others can be quite sensitive to it. I personally noticed it, but around 20 minutes into the game, my eyes and my brain had adjusted, and it became a non-issue. Climbing is at the heart of this game, and where Horizon: Call of the Mountain truly shines. The PSVR2 Sense controllers make the act of climbing feel incredibly natural. Each hand movement is meticulously tracked, and you'll often find yourself reaching out to grab ledges, rocks, and even mechanical parts of the environment. The game cleverly uses the VR medium to create a sense of vertigo and height, making you feel like you're really hanging off the side of a cliff. If, like me, you're not good with heights, then this will be where the awe of VR kicks in. My first time playing through this game, my palms were sweating and my legs gave way on more than a few occasions. This time round playing, that fear had gone, and it made for a more fluid, satisfying climbing experience. As I scaled mountains with ease, I could imagine how great it would be to have a Spiderman game on this headset. Come on, Sony, you have the IP, make it happen. Throughout the game, you will pick up several tools that will allow you to traverse the mountains with relative ease. The combat is another highlight. Using the PSVR2 Sense controllers to shoot arrows feels incredibly natural. The adaptive triggers create tension as you draw back on your bow, and landing the perfect shot is immensely satisfying. The combat isn't as complex as in the main Horizon games, but it is fun and engaging, and it's a way to break up the climbing sequences. You'll find yourself facing off against various robotic enemies, each requiring different tactics to defeat, like targeting weak points or using elemental arrows. The boss fights were impressive, if somewhat easy, but impressive nonetheless. Now let's address the elephant, or rather the tall neck in the room, the game's linearity. Horizon: Call of the Mountain is more of a guided tour than an open world adventure. It's like the developers said, hey, let's take players on a scenic hike with some occasional combat. While this makes for a great showcase of what PSVR2 can do, it can feel a bit restrictive for those used to the expansive world of Horizon. While serviceable, the story will fail to win any awards. It follows Reyes, a character on a redemption quest. Familiar faces from the Horizon series pop up, but the narrative is straightforward. Think of it as a side quest, rather than a full-blown Horizon saga. I feel one of the significant issues with Call of the Mountain lies in how it was marketed. The trailers and promotional material pitched it as a high-octane adventure with a strong emphasis on combat, leaving many players, including myself, expecting a typical Horizon experience in VR. But here's the twist. About 80% of the game is centered on climbing, with combat taking a backseat. Sure, the title does say Call of the Mountain, but the focus on scaling cliffs wasn't communicated clearly. As a result, many players felt misled, expecting an action-packed experience rather than what is essentially a climbing simulator, with some light combat sprinkled in. Another issue is that the game tries to juggle too many responsibilities. It's tasked with pleasing Horizon fans, who expect the franchise's signature open-world depth. It had to be appealing to seasoned VR enthusiasts who want something challenging, but it also had to serve as a gentle introduction for VR newcomers. The saying goes, when you try to please everyone, you please no one. And unfortunately, I feel that is the case here. The result is a linear, straightforward experience that feels more like a VR tech demo than a fully fleshed out game. This all ties into the game's design. It's just too easy. Early on, it becomes clear that the game won't let you struggle for long. The climbing, while very immersive, is simplified to the point where you never feel like you're in real danger of falling or getting lost. While the climbing mechanics are well executed, they lack any real challenge, making the experience feel more like a guided tour than an adventure. It is truly a flawed masterpiece. Once you finish the main campaign, the game isn't over. Dawn's Grasp houses a challenge hub, with an archery range and an assault course to test your climbing skills. There is also a mini museum for collectibles and a machine safari boat ride that lets you get up close and personal with the game's mechanical creatures. This is great for putting newbies on the system to give them a taste of VR. As the credits roll, on Horizon Call of the Mountain, despite its shortcomings, it's a stellar showcase for the PSVR2. Its stunning visuals, immersive climbing mechanics, and interactive world make it a must-play. While it's more of a guided experience than an open-world adventure, it still offers plenty of thrills and chills, especially if you're afraid of heights like me. So if you're ready to face your fears and dive into the Horizon universe, this game is a perfect choice. I score it 8 tall necks out of 10.